we're starting over here, Hilchos Beis Knesset. That's what we're up to. And we're going to learn a piece today, which I believe is fundamental. Okay, Binyan Beis Knesset, Mashiach Gvoa. Kaifim b'nei ir zeh livnas Beis Knesset, v'liknas lehem Torah Nevi'im u'ksubim. Eines in Kaifim zeh liska lehem minyan. There are halachas of taxation that you're forced to do. For different halachas, you're forced to do different things. And the Gemara Bava Basra discusses sometimes the taxation, if you're richer, you have to pay more. And sometimes it goes by a head count, thank you. And sometimes it's divided. The Mishnah will discuss over here exactly which way it goes over here, but that's not the bottom. The bottom line is we're called from people to do the Beis Knesset, which means in English, it's not a option. This is a obligation. You live in a city. I guess we could be kind for you to have a garbage man to take away the garbage. Lahavdil. So too, we could be kind for you that you have to have tzarchei mitzvah. All right. Says the Mishnah Berurah. For the Mishnah Berurah, let's see the Shari Tshuva. Ayin b'heid ayin rivosh. Shamisha maneh kviyas makam mispalo ba'asaro. Person who he doesn't allow it to happen. Nechshav kvar nidoy hu shemoneh rab minas mitzvah. So person, and this, unfortunately, I in my life have seen situations, and I'm just going to tell you one. And this is an amazing thing. The Yetzer Hara is unbelievably strong. People come up with all kinds of reasons that they don't want the shul that should be on the other block to be in their area. And I'm going to share with you a story. So you come to my house in Yerushalayim, you can see there's a picture of the Bluzher Rebbe, the old Bluzher Rebbe hanging on, I can't remember where he is. I don't know where he is. I used to be around. I don't know where he is. But anyways, the old Bluzher Rebbe is actually a very famous fellow because there was a book written about his experiences in the Holocaust. But he was a Yid, which I have not much to say about him other than that he was an unbelievable tzaddik and an unbelievable humble person. And the shul which my in-laws davened in when they were on vacation was built in 1905 by Litvish Jews who came to America, and they lived in the mountains because there were no mosquitoes. Their children were very proud of the institution that their parents made, so they themselves were Mechalei Shabbos. And they fought tooth and nail that this shul should remain Orthodox, and they themselves used to drive to shul on Shabbos, park their car a few blocks away, walk to shul. In other words, in theory, they believed in Orthodoxy, just in practice, I spoke to one of the brothers when I knew him, he was in his 90s. He said, when I went to the army in the Second World War, I still kept kosher. Just after the army, I stopped. You can't keep kosher in the army. So I said to him, these people were millionaires. I said to him, it's never too late to start. It gets there. These people, when the Bluzher Rebbe started coming there in the summers, so he came the first Shabbos wearing his shtreimel. Now, we don't do that in my territory. So these Mechalei Shabbos went over to the Bluzher Rebbe and said, you can't wear that thing in our shul. So he didn't argue with them. The Rebbe came to shul on Shabbos with his hat. That's like you coming to shul with your pajamas. Just if you want to have a musig of what does that mean. And then many years later, Satmar Chassidim started coming to that neighborhood for vacation. And this shul was like every quote unquote good Orthodox shul in America at that time. And on the two sides of the Aron Kodesh were two flags one an Israeli flag and one an American flag. I've seen many shuls. I was in Flatbush not long ago. I was in a shul from that era. Yeah, this is South Africa. Is that what? Did it have on Kurdish? But at any rate, this is a common Yechiel. You remember such things, and that's a
Absolutely.
What? Yeah, I don't think I've seen it in the last 30 years. I don't think that, what?
I saw it recently.
But not in a new shul. I'm talking about
you saw in Boston, in old places. You still see it.
But any place that's not, any place that's newer than 40 years, I don't think they have.
I'm davening in a shul right now. I daven right next to the Israeli flag, and on the other side of the Aron Kodesh is the American flag.
How old is the shul?
8 to 10 years old.
That's it.
That's it.
Okay, fine. Anyways, but this was a common practice, or maybe I should change my words. It is a common practice to have.
Although of course, 50 years ago, when I davened in the Young Israel of New Haven, they had that up on the bimah. On the right side was the Israeli flag, and there.
Okay. Anyways, that's fine. That's not the discussion of today's shir. The Satmar Chassidim wouldn't daven inside the shul because of not the American flag. Anyways, so there was the outside. They had a summer shul and a winter shul. This is an old-fashioned shul. The winter shul had a low ceiling and was heated, and the Ezes Nashim for the summer shul was on top of it. That's how it was made. And so the Chassidim, they would only daven, the Satmar Chassidim would only daven downstairs, that in the winter shul. And when they came to town, they went over to the Bluzha Rebbe, and they said, "We understand that it's difficult for you to daven over here. This is not like a kosher place, as you know. You have to stand here with your hat on Shabbos, and we want to make our own minyan, and you're more than cordially invited to come to our minyan." So he looks at the Chassidim in surprise and says, "What's wrong with this place?" So they said, "What do you mean?" They point to the two flags, and he looks at them and he says, "I'm sorry to insult you." Yes. He looks at the two Chassidim that come to him and said, "You don't make a machlekes over a shmata," and that was the end of it. And he stayed there.
Oh, gave him a lot of credit.
Well, no, this story is a very important story about what we're going to learn at Chuvas and Advaz, and we'll see, was he right or wrong? So he said, so that over here, he said, so to break up a minyan just to wear shtreimel, he didn't think that was justifiable. This is a person, even a litvak would take a bracha from such a guy, right? And as a person when he used to, just I would understand what kind of person he was. He used to take a walk. He was over 90 at this time, and he used to walk in the field that belonged to the public school. The field that belonged to the public school was a tennis court, and I was playing tennis, and he came, so I stopped playing. I didn't think that it was bekovedik that I should play tennis in front of this Rebbe. And that night at Ma'ariv, his grandson came over to me with a message from his grandfather. He said his grandfather would ask that I continue playing tennis when he walks there, because if I'm going to stop, he's going to have to find a new place to walk. And it's very difficult to find a place that's flat where we are. It's just like a mussing of a person as it's called the Oyev Shalom. Like that's like a special person. Anyways, so let's see the Mishnah Berurah over here. Okay, so a person who stops, this is what I was mentioning over here. I know communities where there were sects that wanted to start shuls or bati midrashim in the neighborhood, and the frumah people were against it. Not the religious people. The frumah people were the ones that felt that it was incorrect, And it's a kedai to know this halacha over here that says here in the Shari Tshuva. Okay?
I don't know if this was the case. Many years ago, there was a case in Manchester where they were concerned of anti-Semitism. The main shul in Manchester had people that were engaged in money lending on the board of the shul.
Okay, that's a Jewish business for hundreds of years.
Right, and some people thought it was going to cause a bad impression of the goyim, so they set up another shul, and they had a rule in that shul that no one that was involved in money lending was allowed to hold any office in the shul.
I don't know. Okay, I have one thing to say. You have to be there to be able to judge.
Yeah.
I don't know. As far as I know, bankers are considered fine people. All right.
I think concerning Manchester that people should not wear triangles with lace in the street.
That's a different issue. That's a different issue. That's anti-Semitism issue.
Yeah.
All right. And now let's see the Mishnah book. Koifen zelosh and aram hilchos tefillah. Kol makom sheish bo asar miyisod tzach lahochin loy bayis yikonsu boy l'tefillah b'chol eis tefillah. U'makom ze nikra beis hakneses. V'afilu miyut yichol nochel v'samarubim. No, this is an obligation. Livnois beis hakneses. V'mei b'koichom livnois. B'diavad. But it's not just you have to have a place. It has to be a permanent place. So renting is a b'diavad. The binyan beis hakneses goyim fi momon l'chudei. U'b'schiras beis hakneses goyim v'chetzil fi momon v'chetzil fi nefashos. Again, we discussed this issue. The kosa ha'magen avram b'shem rivosh. Hama'ake lives beis hakneses afilu yesh beis hakneses acheres be'ir. Monea hu rabin me'asas mitzvah. U'masik sham the beis hakneses mechila oisam. If they can hold it. Oz adraba asurim liporek. If the shul can contain the assemblage that needed it, there's enough room, then it's usher to make a new shul. Vayin shul shedba is chelik gimel. Sheherech b'dinim elu. B'sayv dvar kosov. Kol zeh bizman shekulam levechad v'hu shekilusam v'leyofen. This is when they pray in unison. Avol im cholak libam. It's better that you should have different shuls. It's not that I think that it's better to have factions and fractions. The kroksiv chaburim eitzim Ephraim hanachloy cholak libam ata yashamu elat tzarich l'shtalash yalei vechol aviyam shvashamayim. You have to have that the people are levachol nashamayim. Ve'im iyavsha ela shetamehem miskaitet im behem machaitis. If they're always going to be fighting, dercha rabim yuta akam l'shana b'tshuva. Vayim pitzchei tshuva sheherach b'nyonim elu. Okay, so I'm going to say over a story that happened here in Ramat Beit Shemesh, and I'm going to share with you my opinion, halacha l'maisa. Since it's not reggae right now, I don't mind sharing this with you. There was a movement here in Beit Shemesh to make some kind of a group of all Anglo shuls. And they called me up before it was initiated, and they asked me, am I for it? I said, I'm against it. So they said, why are you against it? So I said, where I come from, they say good fences make good neighbors. There's a reason why people daven in Shul A and not in Shul B, and in Shul B not in Shul C, and in Shul C not in Shul D. There's a reason why they go there. And that means if you're going to force them to have to interact, many times you are going to instigate machlokes. So just because they all speak the same language doesn't mean they all speak the same language. So when you're saying that, no, we are going to make it a homogeneous group, if it's not necessary, why do it? you're going to end up. No, I'm not against this achdus. I'm not against it. I'm for it, and that's why I don't think that we should make this. That's why we should say separate, because you're going to come to issues that are going to cause strife, and therefore leave sleeping dogs lie. Leave things the way they are, and they didn't listen to me, and they made the organization, and I became part of the organization. Why did I become part of the organization? I'm going to tell you a little bit about the world of politics. I heard once from our Shiva. I was in yeshiva, and somebody came with his 3-year-old son to Marshiva to make him pay us, it's called. And I wish I could do it as well as Marshiva did such a beautiful job. And the kid was so happy, the father was so happy. And I couldn't believe Marshiva was doing this whole thing. So when the person walked out, I asked him, "What's this?" So he said, I'll say it in Yiddish first because that's the way he said it. Which means I'm not against it enough to make a machor. Okay? So now, if the organization is happening and I'm not going to join the organization, so what does that mean? I don't think it's a wise choice. But I'm not against it in the theory. I just think that it's a dangerous thing to do. And so I'm against it behind the scenes. I'm not against it. My reasons to be against it aren't enough to go make a war against it. No, I'm not, right? So I'm part of the organization. So what does that mean? Nothing, basically. Right? What does it mean?
No, it's not. I disagree.
I disagree. I'm happy to hear that.
If
that means you're alive.
Yes? Once you put your name on that, whether it be once you're part of the organization and your name is on there and you are part of it, therefore then people who know you or whatever say, "Oh, you're for it, so therefore I'm for it." They don't know all of your reasons.
You want to know something? You are right. You are 100% right, and that is the price that you have to pay. And I agree with you, but yes, just think about the other way. If I wouldn't be part of it, so people who see my name not on there, what would they say?
They'd say you don't want to be part of it. That's why your name's not out of it. And I think that's what should have been done.
You want to know something? If they would say what you think that they would say, then I would have done what you said. I disagree. People will say Rabbi Chayesh holds that it's a wrong thing to do and you're not allowed to do it, and they'll make a walk like this. If I wouldn't be on it, so then I became the warmonger. Here's an organization, and Roiv of the Rabbanim are on it, and Rabbi Chayesh is not.
You have your opinion, and your opinion was not to start it. So I was surprised that you decided to be on it.
I'm answering a question. I agree, and that's why today, I want to tell you something. Today I got a phone call. Hello, my name is Ploini Almoini, and I'm from the VAD of a certain community and of admissions into the community. And your name was given for a reference for this fellow. Will you say that he's a super guy? Basically, that's what they wanted to know. I would say about the fellow, he's a 75, 80. What am I supposed to say? Do you think all the super guys are super? Speak to the Shalchin. Did you ever hear of a boy or girl who isn't the best?
They're all the best.
Okay. Just have to figure out at what. So you have to know. That's the problem is sometimes, and I'm just telling you, there is a situation. I'm just going to, since I brought this point out, I'm just going to tell you this is the way I sometimes have to operate. There was a shechita that opened in this country, and they were underselling all the other hechsherim by a substantial amount. And they said they're just as good kashrus-wise. I didn't believe it. So I called up the man in charge and I started to question him. What do you do about this? What do you do about this? And I got the answers which explained to me why it's not the same level. And he even explained to me why, even though it's not the same level, why they advertise that they are. I got the whole picture. And then he says to me at the end of the conversation, I see that you understand Shechita, maybe you'd like to come and see the plant. You know what I said? No, thank you. You know why I said no, thank you? No, better reason than that.
Oh, I know why. Because
such a big bug guy would think they'll do that.
Oh, because by you going there, people know you're going there. So there's you're going there.
Well, then you're gonna know how bad it is.
You're acknowledging. You're acknowledging it.
So I don't think. See, you and Ari Waldman are giving me more credit than I deserve. I don't think people are going to know. And they're not going to take any pictures of me being there. If I be some big fancy guy, maybe they take that picture. And irrelevant to what I said, they'll say that I was there. What I'm afraid of is actually did happen. People came over to me and asked me, do I know anything about that shechita? So what I said to people was the truth. I was not there, I can't say. What would have happened? What would have happened if I went there?
Yeah.
I know exactly what would have happened. What would have happened is I would have seen it, and it would be enough that it's kosher, but not enough that it's super. But I can't say that it's nothing. I can't say it's not mahuder. I can't say anything because the people who are asking the questions wouldn't be able to understand my answer. So therefore, I said I wasn't there. That's all. I didn't go. So there, I don't have to take a stand, so I didn't.
I still
Aren't you
disagree
happy
with
you're not a
you.
rabbi?
Yes, because I disagree with you. I think you should have gone.
I know that, and then I would say lashon hara to people. You'd be happy, but I wouldn't. Tell me something. Yes.
Yeah.
Is OU a good hechsher?
Yes.
I don't think so. Depends what a good hechsher is. If you'll ask the OU, what will they say?
Of course.
No. So it depends
Definitely
on
not.
what? No. The OU, I know this, I know their policies. The OU's policy is that it should be kosher. They are not looking to make a Mahadran product. They're not. No, that's not. I'm not saying lashon hara, right? So when someone asks me, "Can I eat OU?" You want to know if it's comparable to a Mahadran hechsher? No. In some things, maybe it's even better. But it's not. But it's not. They're what they want is one thing, and what the person is asking is something else. You understand? I will just quote a famous Talmud Chacham in Eretz Yisrael said once: a person who eats OU in America could be machmer and eat rabbanut over here. It's 100% wrong. OU is a reliable hechsher at its level. At its level. But that level is not the level of the Eidach Reidis. It's not that level. It's not comparable by their own admission. I'm not saying lashon hara. That's what they're trying to do. My father, Olav Shalom, used to say, you can't have a lechatchila mahadran hechsher unless you have a b'diavad hechsher. You have to have the baseline. I didn't say you shouldn't eat it. I didn't say that. I wasn't asked about eating the OU since yesterday, and I told somebody who was in America, you can eat it, but you want to know. You understand? The question is not a fair question. Are you with me?
Yeah, I understand.
Okay. Anyways, so what?
Don't answer the question, answer the person.
Yeah, that's true, but that's it's very complicated. The question, anyways. So this is the bottom line. The bottom line. Just get back to what we're discussing. Most people cannot understand the sensitivities of issues that are complicated. If they're not in that field, that's all. You just can't. Could you explain to me, is this lock worth more than that lock? Is it worth the amount more than they're charging? Usually not. It's just better, but not worth the difference in price. That's the bottom line. So the person says, so where is it better? So you're not going to be able to explain it, right? That's
No,
the
I
end.
can explain it. I can explain it.
Yeah, I
Certain things
understand, but they can't understand it. You can't explain it.
I have to explain it. I have to explain it to people all the time.
I know. I can't. Well, listen, I'm not going to argue because I don't know much about locks. But I'm just saying this is the point. The point is a screwdriver. Not all screwdrivers are the same. You can buy a screwdriver for $3. You can buy a screwdriver for $30, and probably the one $30 is worth the 10 times more than the $3 one, or at least 5 times, right? But it's so. What's the difference? Because one's a screwdriver and one isn't. That's the bottom line. Okay. Anyways, I would like to read a little bit of this tshuva. I'm going to share it with you. Can you do that? Could you? I have to find out where do I get it from over here to share it. No, but I have to. Where am I going to get it from?
You have to go out of the screen.
No, it's not. It's not any of these things. It's in.
Desktop.
I made it in an email. It's not gonna. I'm not gonna be able to get it. All right. But anyways, I'd like to read this piece over here.
Who is it, please?
I'm reading Chuvas Haridvaz, Chelek, in my Ridvaz that I'm holding over here. Chelek Beis, Sim Tov Kuf Yud. Just hang on 1 second. We'll get it for you. How do I? Then we'll go to send. Send. Oh, I'm in sent already. Here. I put it into OneDrive.
All you have to do is share the screen already like this.
I'll put it to OneDrive. We're gonna put it into. That sounds like a good place to put it. Okay, here we go. Okay, now we got the Zoom, share content. OneDrive. Where's OneDrive? OneDrive.
Which
OneDrive.
tshuva is it?
Tough. No, we're not able to get there.
You go back straight to the email and just do it straight from the email.
Tav Kuf Yud.
That's
Yeah.
on the
Okay.
third page.
No, I don't want to send it an email.
You don't have to send it. You can just open that page that was open and share that page.
Doesn't. Okay, I don't know. Okay, I don't know.
The page was open.
Well, we'll just do it. I don't know how we're gonna do this. We'll just skip it. I'm gonna read it.
You don't have the email over there. We just opened it.
Okay, open. Just share the email. Okay. How do I? Whoa! I just had. No, it's here. I share it. File via. I have to share the file. How could I share it?
Without sharing, share it just as a screen. It's a screen share. This screen is open. And
So now, how do I do that?
go out of the screen. Because then it's anyways open. It's another window.
And here I am. Now, what do I do? So you don't know. Okay, I'm gonna read for you. I'm gonna read for this tshuva over here. Okay. Im Yecholim Yehuda v'Chaver v'Lahafim me'al Kahal Ma'arvim l'Spal Atzmu v'Lechas l'Spal v'Kalach. Can they descend from the community? Kivan shechziko l'Spal Imaim v'Ovipai m'Spal Imaim, and he's part of his family minion. They've been down in the same shul for centuries. Karsinu Perik Elo Oimdim. Ein Oimdim Lispal Lo Mitoch Soik Lo Mitoch Kalas Roish Lo Mitoch Sicha Mitoch Meriva Lo Mitoch Kas. You're not allowed to daven Mitoch Meriva or Kas. Besugar Sinon. Besugar Sinon. The matter called Hani. Shalo Yispalel Adam Lo. Disturbed. Thank you. People who don't get along with others in the group, they're not allowed to daven there. They annoy you. Because she came, alcohol. We're not going to print this. I'm just reading it, okay? And I lost my place. When you're in a place which you enjoy, you're able to have to connect. But this is fascinating. When a person goes to his Rebbe, he's in a place where he's able to. It connects them. I'll just mention that there's somebody over here who complained to me. And Yom Naroyim, they moved the Omud to over here. And he said to me, complained to me, he said, I picked my spot in the shul, should I be able to see the Rav when he davens? And now they put this thing over here. Do I have a right to ask to change my seat? What are you laughing about? What? Read what it just said. Did you hear what I just said? He asked me if he should ask to change his seat. He didn't say that. He didn't say they won't change his seat. The what?
You buy a field because of the water, only if he said because of the water.
He didn't say that he's going to demand in Bezdin. He said, should I ask the Gabbai to change my seat? What? Yeah. Anyways, this I just read it again. This is fascinating. El Rabbi, Benoisaden of Levi, the Tiskafshe Nafshe Benafshe, Yechol of Mashpia, etc. Shalem Yoselecha, the Tisyatzi Vashimcha, the Tzilimeruach. The Chain Nisal Rabbeinu HaKodesh, Shem Hoyaroya, Pnei Rav, Hoyamagila Dagoyono. The Koshkim Arav Mischaven Gamhu, the Korazel Zel Ashpia, Vezula Kabel. This one to give and the other to accept. Mishamochi Rav Yossi, let me call Adam Yochzachal Motor, Mekani Tirush Yelech Adam Lamakam Echod. Lil Motera Alpha Pisha of Amalo Shea Lelech. The over mitzvahs keep it off. Shalom min akol adam zeicha lil Motera v'zatam ba'atzle betila. That if your father says to daven with me and you can daven somewhere else, this is amazing, true or not? The times what? You're allowed to daven somewhere else. Ki habeit adam el oyava vel kroiva vel rabbi or misha daita neichelis er national kavana shlema v'nitoisif olav ruach mimoron. This is a fascinating idea of where you daven. That's the bottom line. Then Taimar, what's called, we say, Brevam Hadras Melech. Okay, and it says about all things including Tefillah. Even if you have enough to make 2 minyanim, better everybody be together. Why? The kivan shehem levovos chalukim, since we already have dissension amongst the masses, and kilusan oila yafa, that tefillah is not going to be oilet hakadosh baruch hu properly. Afikach nagu b'chol glilas yisrael shekol b'nei ir v'lashon echad oisim lahem kal b'fnei atzmai v'yisarbu man she'ir v'lashon acher. That's why there's vishnitz and there's bells and there's ger. V'lo yihaya kol echad me'arabanim shemicha b'yodam ki b'cholok hamakayros ha'lishoynois yischalku halavavois. People come from different places. They have different personalities. Then kilusan oila yafa, and their kilus doesn't go in the same direction. There's no bilbo. That turned it off. Hold on a Sheyochol hayochid aleches l'spal b'makom shel chafetz. Afilo aviv rogel l'spal b'oisei makom. The other of makom shebos. Bisman shaya aviv shalom zal haydaita rechava v'nasha chafetz. Because he wanted to die with his father. Aval achar shemeis, his father died. V'nis chadish eva l'leches l'makom acher odav tvei. Okay. Aval im maskimim makal b'mnei takolas enem. That's. I don't want to get too much further. Just the last few lines of what I quoted. This whole truth was fascinating. Only brought down part of it. So, in the last few lines, don't think that I hold that breaking up a kehillah is better. Chas v'sholom. You're not supposed to. You should take the Rabbi Miuta and you should make a separate shul. So this is when I say it's an important tshuva. I don't usually read such a long piece of a tshuva, but I feel that this tshuva is extremely important for unfortunate obvious reasons. So does a person have a right? The answer is yes, a person has a right. Should a person do it? No. So I'm just going to tell you, I'm going to share. So I'll tell you, I'll end off at least with one story, a personal story that happened to me. When I was a bocher, my sister got engaged in Knesset also. And for some reason, I don't remember what the reason was, my parents wanted me to come home, and I came home. And I was in Detroit for Yom Kippur. I told my father, I said that I wanted to fine. He was 100% okay with that. And I went to the davening koil, had nice yeshiva davening. Everything was going back to yeshiva after Sukkot. He said to me, Seichel is machayev that you should have davened one tefillah here. That was it. That was his parting words with me at the end of the Bein Hazmanim. A lot of person has to daven where he has to daven, but a person also has to shtal tzu to other chiyuvim that he has, and you have to figure it out. So that's I was at the time, I think it was like 17 or something like that. That's right. That's all right. We'll continue next week.